everyone. Good evening, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So today we have a conversation with our clients in ESS program. Now it's called Get Hooked program. These guys are selling in Dutch market. Daniel and Fabian, they're selling in the Dutch market. They're doing $10,000 a day in Dutch market alone, which is pretty decent numbers, considering it's just like one market in Europe. So, it's easy to do like $10,000 in the US market. It's massive market, but just doing that in one market in Europe is very, very great. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey guys,
Hi guys,
how are you doing, Alex?
Good, good. How are you?
amazing.
Always good.
Amazing. Great to be here.
Yeah, thank you for joining me. So, yeah, I give people a little bit like introduction about what you guys do. You guys selling in the Dutch market, you're doing like $10,000 a day or more now.
No, currently we're at a little bit less, at around 5 to 8K a day. But last week our record day was 13 and a half in one day.
Yeah.
So it averages out.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very cool. And yeah, it's for me it's very like inspirational to see like doing these kind of numbers. These are not like massive numbers, but these are very solid like foundational numbers, like just in one market, just in the Dutch market. And yeah, would love to learn from you guys, kind of like what you've learned along the way, kind of like how your journey has been so far, where you guys are going, and share that with an audience.
Yeah,
Of
great.
course.
Awesome. So how you guys got into e-commerce?
Well, frankly, we both were doing online business. My brother was doing appointment setting. I've been into the SEO game a long time. Because we were both active, we got an office together, and we were sitting, monitor against monitor. And at some point, we were just thinking, well, why not start something together? And then there we go. We started drop shipping a couple of weeks. We didn't really find any success going product by product every day. And then we found one product, doubled down on it, and same brand.
So when was that? How long ago was that?
That we started this brand, which we're still running end of May last year. Actually, we got our first like drop shipping sale the 7th of May last year.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So it was like overall, like you've been doing e-commerce and drop shipping for less than 1 year,
Yes.
and that's I think that's because people always ask me like, hey, how much time does it take to get traction with with e-commerce? And there's so many factors to this, like so how much time the person can dedicate to it, how fast they learn, who they learn from, like it's which market they sell in, like what kind of products. So there's so many factors, but I mean I see it like again and again, like if someone is like truly committed to making it happen, and if they do like everything in their power for a year, it's almost like impossible not to have some success. It's like just statistically, mathematically, like it's very hard. Like I mean yeah, it's impossible. Like if you just hammer it like for a year and you learn and you adapt and you tweak and you adjust and you join some communities and you learn from people and people giving you feedback. It's so it's fascinating. Like you guys been in the industry for less than a year and having some good traction.
Yeah, amazing.
Thank you.
And so you also okay. So before e-commerce, like what you guys have been like? Did you go to school? Like did you what was happening in your life before e-commerce?
Yeah, we both went to the same high school. Then I went to university. But yeah, it's the standard e-commerce guy story. University, yeah, you will become an employee or a manager. So I started looking at things to make money online. Found appointment setting for also like big coaches. Also did a little time for an e-commerce guy, so of course really familiar with the game. And yeah, then we have my brother.
Like you said, high school. After high school, you can make a decision, go to school, yes or no. I've been running my SEO agency for about 2 years in high school and didn't go to uni. And that was 1.5 years ago. So right now I'm 18 years old still, so don't.
You are 18 years old?
Yeah.
Holy shit. I thought you were like 20, 21. You look more mature. Gee, man, you're young.
Well,
Yeah.
that's I was saying that because you mentioned what did you do, so and I didn't
Oh
get too much
yeah.
out of school, so I didn't. We went straight into online business. Yeah.
That's fascinating. That is fascinating. And so like, okay, how is like, I mean, so in our community, like, I mean, you've been to our events, right, in Dubai,
Yeah, we were in
and
the
like entrepreneurs, like there's a lot of entrepreneurs specifically from Netherlands, from European countries. What is the kind of like overall like vibes? Let's say you guys went to school, like do many people want to get into entrepreneurship? Do people even realize that that's like alternative paths, or this is like still kind of like very like underground, only some people? Because from my perspective, I see so many entrepreneurs, let's say from Netherlands, like people getting into e-commerce, getting into like drop shipping and building successful businesses. But how was it looking like for you? Like, was it like most of your friends wanted to be entrepreneurs and build something, or people still believe in that old path, like go to school, get a job, and work for 50 years?
Yeah, it really depends on your friends, of course. We, at least me, Fabian, a little. I think we will ask him soon. But for me, it's been the entrepreneurship has been in me since little. Our dad, he's also an entrepreneur, and yeah, my friends, we were always talking about like starting a business, doing something. Like right now, about half, even more than half of my friends from the Netherlands, they are all having like their own business, also doing really great. Not in e-commerce, but in other kinds of businesses. So yeah, for us, it's been normal. And we were actually talking about with guys from Holland, also guys from other countries in Dubai, like why these Dutch guys, why they all do e-commerce. And we think it's because in Holland, like you see so much ads of like these e-commerce coaches and e-commerce sellers. It's quite big in the Netherlands. So yeah, a lot of people try. So a few will succeed.
Man, because the reason I'm asking is because like fundamentally this is such a big mindset shift. Like, so for example, right, you grow up in a family where your parents they went to college or they went to university, they got a job, they were there for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, right? Your grandparents did the same, your grand like it's basically established paths. And then it's also brainwashed from the media. It's like, get a job, get a university degree, like get a job, like work for 40 years, buy a house, like. And so it's like kind of like the standard path that has been established for people. And for people, when they're getting when they first getting into the business, it's a big mindset shift, right? Like in terms of kind of, okay, in a business, I'm responsible for everything that happens, good and bad. I have to take more ownership. There is no real like, you know security. It's like in a job you have perceived security, it's not real security. And so it's a big mindset shift for people. And what you just said, I think is so crucial, that you just surrounded yourself with other entrepreneurs, and because of that it seems normalized, right? It's like in life, like for example, if you drive like a if you drive like a old, I don't know, like 30-year-old Audi, right? And then you switch to Rolls Royce, and you drive Rolls Royce for like a month. Then Rolls Royce is normalized for you, and you don't want to like go back to Audi anymore, right? Because you got used to good stuff. And so the same with entrepreneurship. I think once you start surrounding yourself with like entrepreneurs, like even going to conferences, going to events, going to masterminds, like even if you're like maybe you're the person that's doing like the least amount of volume or the least like revenue at those events. Just surrounding yourself by those people and normalizing it for yourself, I think that just like switches your beliefs like nothing else. And I think that's what people should do if they want to become entrepreneurs.
I 100% agree. I do think that you should keep into account your personal set of values, right? So if you, of course, you'd also want to always want to level up new standards, right? But if you get caught up into it, I think some people might be uh, hurting themselves mentally, right? If that makes sense. Whereas if you, how do I put this? Keep always your standards so high, and if you come under that, then at some point you will be disappointed with yourself. Whilst I think if you're driving your Rolls Royce every day and every time you step into it, you can appreciate it. I think those little things can be a big contribution to your overall happiness, and that could also give a feedback loop into more motivation, etc., etc. So I would want to point out that for sure.
For sure, my man. So, how was it like? So you got into e-commerce, like, and like in May, did you have like success like last year? Like, did you have success right away? Did it like go like very well for you right away?
Actually, yeah, we started in May, or like, yeah, the start of May, end of March. Like we said, 2 weeks drop shipping, no real success, lost money. But after that, we started this brand end of May, and in June we already did 80K in revenue. So that was crazy. We did like a 5K day in June, but yeah, made a lot of beginners mistakes. We're running with really little profit margins. Yeah, a lot of back end stuff that wasn't set up well, and like at the end we were left with not that much money for the amount of revenue we made. And after that, we even made one of the stupidest decisions ever to all stop all sales, create custom stock, and let it ship to the Netherlands. So we killed all of our momentum, which we really saw in Dubai. Like, momentum is everything. Just keep on going on the momentum you have. And yeah, after that, it was like September when we were starting to be up and running again with the custom stock in the Netherlands. And then you can expect what happens. We couldn't get anything to sell. We were only losing money. Yeah, so yeah, it started like this, then it went like this again, straight after that.
Yeah, and then right after Christmas, we got into VSLs, and that's where things started picking up again. And then mixing that with advertorials, straight to product page as well, and then that's how we got from Christmas until here again.
And for that, a huge thank you to Toby. Of course, we got in contact with him through a friend of ours, and yeah, he's helped us all the way. Introduced us to ESS, introduced us to the Dubai event. Yeah, we wouldn't be here without Toby.
That's for sure.
Yeah, Topi is a legend. So it's fascinating. So the advertorials VSLs, they work in European markets very well.
Yeah, crazy.
Nice. I love it. Yeah, it's like because oftentimes people, it's like, I know it's working, let's say in the US market, but does it work in other markets? And I think Europe right now is like, I've seen so many people in our community just like replicating even like what's working in the US market, like translating, making some adjustments, making some tweaks, and then absolutely crushing it in Europe.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I cannot speak for the whole of Europe, but for sure it works in the Netherlands and Belgium.
So how was that for you? Like for you guys, that was basically like a new like learning curve in terms of advertorials and VSLs. What would you recommend to people that want to learn those skill sets? Because you were not like learning copywriting, right? Like all of those were like pretty new skills to you. How did you learn those so fast?
Really good one is copy first, improvise later. Like you said, just look at what the big guys are doing and just analyze their structure from the advertorial, their structure from the VSL, and give your own spin to it, and then just do that until you have something that works, and then you can improvise on it.
Yeah, and to add to that, I mean, when writing the first advertorial, it's not that you're straight copying everything. I mean, research is quite important. So with our uh, product, we found a mechanism which is backed by a scientific study. And if you don't even understand how your own product works, how can you how can you make someone else understand, right? So that's I think research is a due diligence which just has to you've got to go through for sure.
And I love this, and I think that part of like research is the part that most people just kind of like bypass. It's a boring part, right? It's like you have to read, you have to go through like reviews, you have to go through like some, scientific like articles and kind of. I mean, right now, like I don't know if you guys have played with like deep research. Oh no,
Yes.
it's crazy. Like I think using technology, you can speed up that process significantly, but still, you just have to be open-minded that like I think when people getting into e-commerce, they think that, oh, it's all about like trending product. If I just like jump on a trending product, I can make it work. Yes, potentially, but that product will also probably, if it's trending, then it will probably die. But if you know how to market, if you know how to sell, if you know why people are buying your product, then you can just like find new angles, you can find new ways to market your product, and you can have more consistency in your sales, and you can build a bigger business, more sustainable business. And
Yes.
that is a part that most people just bypass.
Exactly. I don't know who it was exactly. Maybe it was even you. I was watching a video. They said it's not about winning products, it's about winning angles and winning marketing.
Yeah, it's once you know how to market, it's like you can, okay, what is a product, like what is it, first of all, what is the problem that I'm solving for people, right? Because if you know the problem, then you can find multiple products that are solving that problem. If that problem is painful for people, if people want to solve it, then you can find so many products that solve that problem. It's like, for example, even with let's say skincare, right? Skincare, like you can sell creams, you can sell serums, you can sell gadgets, right? You can sell I don't know, you can sell some masks, right? Like there's so many products that at the end of the day, they solve the same problem for people, which is like making their skin look younger and more beautiful. And if you know how to do that, then you'll literally never struggle with money. Like you will know how to build businesses out of nowhere.
Yep.
Absolutely true.
So for you guys, like what AI tools you're currently using in your workflows?
Tools. Which one haven't we tried? I think mostly we use, of course, these LLMs. Pretty much subscribe to every single one of them. You just switch them around. Um, Next to that, well, we are in ESS, so we use that tool for sure. Get hooked. Another tool which I think helps us a lot is Facebook Ad Library, though free. I think very powerful. And next to that, we have all these Shopify apps, right? But I don't think you mean those.
Do you use any like AI UGC creator stuff?
No, it doesn't work that good in the Netherlands. Like,
Oh, interesting.
yeah, in English it looks great, but in Dutch it's off with the pronunciation, like the lip sync.
Okay.
And yeah, we haven't even got it to work now in the Dutch market. We're using all our own creators.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, we haven't got traction on it. Doesn't mean no one
Yeah,
could.
exactly.
Just we haven't seen success with it yet.
Awesome. So with your business right now, like how you guys are like splitting responsibilities, like who's doing what, who's good at what, like because usually it's like one person is good at something, another person is good at another thing, right? And like there's when these complementary skill sets are coming together, that's when business starts to like just blow up. Like if you look at any successful company, there's usually like few people like with complementary skill sets. Like how is that split up between you guys? Who's doing what?
So when I open the Facebook ad manager, I have no idea where to look. It's like a labyrinth for me. I have no idea, absolutely. So that's where Daniel comes in and pretty much takes care of all the ad department, acquisition, and on page backend would be more on me.
Got it. So okay, so so you're more back end, and Daniel's more like on the kind of advertising side, analytical.
Yeah, I run more ads.
Run more ads.
He runs more of the ads, yeah, for sure.
Good stuff. So what would you say like to people that are like, I don't know, maybe some like young entrepreneurs watching right now from Netherlands, and they're thinking kind of like, you know, the opportunities, like they might be thinking, oh, e-commerce saturated, oh, there is like no opportunity. Like what would you say to those people?
Test it. No, my single piece of advice would be, don't do something you don't think will work. Because if you already start in the mindset that something is not going to work, you probably will not make it work yourself. I mean, if you think that e-commerce is that example, then you cannot make e-commerce work. If you want e-commerce to work but you don't know how, just watch more resources. There's plenty on YouTube if you want to get started. Look at other brands. Like I said, Facebook ad library is literally a pot of gold, and I think no one is really using it to its full capabilities who's not in e-commerce. So piece of advice would be, do more research and just start. Keep doing what you think, what your intuition tells you to do.
And then like have it like I think you mentioned a very important part, that like having like a faith, right? Like just believing that it works, right? And even if it doesn't work from the first try, then if you adjust certain things, if you try other things, like let's say you test a product and it doesn't work from the first try, like you can test another product, you learn something from the first one, you test another one, and eventually something hits. But having the faith that this is actually works, like you said, I think it's one of those beliefs that you just need to have, because otherwise you'll try it and then it's a scam, it doesn't work, it's too saturated, and then you just give up. And most people, like if you think about like statistically, how many people can open, like anyone can open Shopify store. Like it's very accessible, you can sign up with like few clicks, you literally have ability to sell any product you want. But then how many people are actually building successful businesses? It's very small percentage, because most people just give up after the first try, and like it doesn't work and they just give up. So like you said, I think it's important to believe that this works. And even if it doesn't work from the first try, what if it took you like, let's say 6 months or 1 year, and you dedicated that time, probably you spent tens of thousands of dollars, for instance, right? But you're building a business like you guys, for instance, that does like $8,000-10,000 a day. Boom. Like you can literally just set your life in a totally different direction if you just committed that time up front, and you just like was ready to take that upfront loss, which might happen, might not happen. Some people having traction a lot faster. And so just having the belief that it works if you just put in the work and you keep trying.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'd love to hear Daniel's piece of well, your previous question. What would you say?
Yeah, of course, of course. It's point one. It's just not true that e-commerce doesn't work anymore. I don't know the exact details, but if you just look at all stats, e-commerce sales are only going up. So the market is getting bigger, and it's also not that Fabian and me, this is our first business and that it immediately exploded. No, I'm now right now 23. I've been trying stuff left and right for like 4 years already, since I was 18. Fabian also tried a lot of things himself. He's younger, but you've been trying since you were 14 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's all coming together now. Okay, we've tried so many times, we failed so many times, so we know what to do now. And yeah, when it then picks up, it really picks up. It's just about just not giving a fuck about any setbacks, about anything that goes wrong, and just keep on trying. But of course, keep on improving as well. If you're doing the exact same thing for 4 years, of course, nothing's gonna improve. But if you just learn from your mistakes and then keep improving every day, yeah, then there will be a point when it picks up, and then it will seem like it just went up, just out of nothing. But they don't see like the whole path going towards it.
For sure. And so yesterday we had a call like in our community, and we had one client from Poland. He's selling in the Polish market, and he's doing like $80,000 a month in the Polish market. And for him, it's a lot because he's just like, he's just getting that like initial momentum. And he's like, okay, do you think I can scale it to like, $200,000-$300,000 a month? And I'm like, okay, let's see how big the e-commerce market is in Poland. An e-commerce market in Poland is like $30 billion a year. So if you just like take like, okay, and so which means, people buying products online, right? They're just buying from other people right now. And what you have to do is you have to make them buy from you and not from other people. And you take a small piece of that market. And like $200,000-$300,000 a month, that's like, only like $2-3 million a year. That's not even like one. That's like small fraction. Now, do you guys know? Like, you guys know what size of e-commerce market in Netherlands is?
I would say it's about the same. I would wild guess, but I don't know it.
Yeah, I either don't know.
Yeah. So revenue in e-commerce, and so by the way, like Netherlands is like what, 10 million people?
19.
18, 19.
18, 19. Okay. So revenue, I'm reading this here. This is, you can Google it. Revenue in e-commerce market is projected to reach $37 billion in 2025.
Yeah.
In Netherlands. Yep. So it's like, it's kind of like, I think there's like these like self-imposed limitations. Oh, it's like, I can't scale this product. Oh, it's too saturated. How come it's too saturated? If the market is already big, it's a multi-billion-dollar market, and it's also growing, by the way, at like 7.92% year over year, which means like every year there's more and more people starting to buy stuff online. Again, if they're not buying from you, they're buying from other people. All you have to do is make them buy from you. That's it. That's your only job. And so I think when people are looking at e-commerce as like saturated like opportunities, like all they have to do is just look at the data.
For sure.
Exactly.
For sure. And for what you guys both just mentioned, I want to say everything is your fault. Literally everything. Let it be a negative. If something doesn't work out, it's your fault. Let it be a positive. It will be your fault if you make something work. So I think that's a very nice thing to live by.
We had this guy from Netherlands. What's the name? Mazer. We talked about. I forgot.
Flores. Yeah, it will be Flores.
Yeah, he's what he's doing, like 50 million dollars just in Netherlands.
I don't know. I only spoke briefly to him a couple times. I don't know his revenue numbers, but I would believe it if he's doing those numbers.
Yeah, it's and just in one market, and the product he's selling is basically what has been selling in US market for a while. These, the small sinks for dishwashing machine.
Yeah.
Like those things have been like in US market. So basically, if you're in like smaller markets, like European markets, even South American markets, like I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs like in our community, like doing amazing numbers in South America. Like market is just developing. E-commerce market is also growing. It doesn't have as much buying power, but still, okay, you just sell cheaper products, but you sell more of them because the market's like, there's population of Mexico is like 120 million people, and or other countries in South America. So there's so much opportunity if people just like, okay, open their minds and like wow, I can scale this really hard because the market is so massive.
Take his product, right? So he just found a literally household product, make it a little. I don't want to put shame on his product, but I think it's an excellent product. But he just made a better version of it.
Yeah.
And if you even improve a standardized product by 1 or 2 or maybe 10%, you already can win over a lot of the market. And he has done it with excellent marketing. Now it's just like what washing machine and washing stuff, right? Put it on subscription, you get a nice LTV out of those customers. Excellent,
sure.
excellent strategy.
I think that's a mindset, like, because also one of the beliefs that people have that they get when they get into e-commerce, oh, I need to have this like unique product that has no competition and no one else selling it, and like it's kind of has to be something super like unsaturated. Like you said, if you take the product that's already selling, but people complain about certain parts of it, and you just find like improved version of that product, or you just market that product better, like literally sometimes that's all it takes, like selling existing product that other people are selling, but selling it more effectively. And like if you do that, like that's literally all you need to build like a very nice business.
For sure.
Exactly. Or if you or if you just do the marketing better than everyone else. If you look at Nuru, they used to sell the exact same product as everyone else, but on like 5 times higher scale than everybody else.
Exactly. So we have a question here. I think this is from someone from Netherlands. I think based on name, Steen. Were you guys profitable from the beginning, or how much money did you go into the negative before being profitable?
Well, do you guys profitable from the beginning? So I don't know if you got the beginning as time. However, the first weeks were not profitable at all. It depends on your winner, right? So with our dropshipping store, which was a completely different Shopify account, stuff like that, we didn't make any money. We lost. And then one night we sat down, me knowing all the SEO tools from the agency, using those, researching all the sites, stuff like that. We found a product and we just made it work, launched the site around that, didn't even have the proper inventory and everything yet. And we just made that product work. I certainly believe if you do that strategy from the start, you don't need to have a lot of capital. You can literally get started with 1,500 euros. I wouldn't really say something underneath that would make you work. But of course, you've heard stories, people burning 5K, 10K without any winners. But like I said, everything is your fault. If you cannot make a winner, do more research, put more effort into the CRO, put more effort into the ads, perhaps even VSLs, make ad tutorials. And then I think the root of your question is how much money do I need to get started? And it really depends on you. But I'd say about 1,500, 2K, 2.5 would be the right amount.
Yeah, and it's crazy, like compared to like if you wanted to open like a restaurant, for example, right? Like you need probably a lot more than that, and then you're limited to a single location with a restaurant, and then you need to be there every day in the restaurant. Then you have to hire people in the restaurant. Like with e-commerce, you can sell products like all over the country. Then you guys, like for instance, in your case, you'll expand to other countries as well. It's in terms of like scalability, it's such an amazing business because you can run it basically from your laptop, and you can scale to some massive numbers.
Exactly.
I agree. Well, I don't think you should go into business with the mindset of I'm trying to do as little as possible. But for sure, there is less required for an e-commerce business compared to a traditional brick and mortar, for example. Yeah.
How your mindset? So in almost 1 year that you guys are in e-commerce, like how your mindset has shifted, in different like aspects of business, like in terms of the product research, in terms of ads, in terms of just like seeing the opportunities, like how that evolved over the last year.
For me, it's mostly the biggest change was just putting things into perspective relatively, because when we started we were thinking like, okay, if we just make 500 euros profit a day, then we will be good. And we were like really thinking small, and okay, then we did some numbers, lost everything again, and then we were a bit cautious. And like the biggest shift was Dubai. When we were in Dubai with all these guys, they were not talking about sales, euros, dollars. They were talking in millions, these guys. So it was, we were one of the smallest guys there. And it really opened our eyes to thinking big and just seeing things big, really scaling hard, and not being, not having like this internal block that it's too much money. That has been the biggest shift.
That's interesting. I think for me, um, I I always believed it, but now you actually see it in practice that momentum is such a big deal. Additionally, you really need to build your network. I really think so, because sure you can get started, but to reach a certain point, to get certain problems fixed, you might encounter, you need someone you can reach out to. And if you're doing everything alone, as a lone wolf, then you will have a hard time having a solution for some problems like payment stuff, advance. Luckily speaking, we don't have any of those. However, I do realize that not only having people around to solve problems, but to, go back and forward on ideation, helping each other out. Let's review each other's stuff. One of the most amazing things is to let someone take a look for the first time at your funnel and at your ads and stuff, so they can, without a filter, judge everything you're doing, like a completely new perspective. And beautifully ties together perspective, also in the form of um, business owner to business owner, I think is very big.
So someone asked, advertorials in the Dutch market, like you guys said, it's working well for you, right?
Yes, we're sending traffic to both advertorial and product page, but we're seeing advertorial we can just scale much harder. We have a lot of more traffic going to the advertorial. Being able to scale it harder. Not seeing that big of a difference between AOV or conversion rate, but it's just the scalability is much better.
Very cool. Did you beat your conversion rate? Like, so for example, conversion rate on like on Shopify versus like on advertorial, getting better ones on advertorials?
Not really, because it's we're just also, we have the advertorial also as a page on Shopify. And for some ads we're also sending them to product page, but we're not looking at the conversion rate specifically. We're just looking at ROAS per ad. That's how we optimize.
Cool. And who's building, like, where are you guys building your advertorials? In Funnelish or?
It's Replo.
Oh, Replo. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. And so did you build them yourself, or like you hired someone?
No, we built them ourselves.
Very cool. So how long did it take you to build like a advertorial?
A week.
A week?
Yeah.
And now like, so that's like when you were starting out, or even right now it takes you like a week?
No, that was the first one. Yeah.
And now, like, if you wanted to build like a new advertorial, like,
especially with the AI stuff, right? You literally give me a task right now, we can get something live this evening, but it's more about continuity, right? We've tested more advertorials, and for some reason one of our earlier advertorials has been winning for a while. So, yeah, we are mostly scaling on the creative side rather than the advertorial side.
Okay, so you found something that's working where you drive traffic and it converts. Now you're just focusing on like on the advertising side, just cranking up more ads.
Yeah.
Well said. Yeah.
Awesome. So we have here, I don't know if you can answer this one, like what are the main difference scaling in Dutch market compared to US or UK? I don't know.
I can't give a good answer, but in the period like September, October, November, when we were trying to get it back up running again, we've like as just trying something, tried our funnel which wasn't working in the Netherlands, trying to launch it in the UK to just okay, maybe it will work there, and it also didn't work. So I think, but it's not tested yet, if you can get it to work in one market, especially in like the first world countries, they're relatively the same, then you can get it to work everywhere.
Awesome. And I think eventually for you guys, like it's like I have seen it both ways. I have seen it like, let's say, entrepreneurs like starting in US market and then going to like, let's say, European markets, kind of diversifying and geographically. But also I've seen, like, for example, Topi, right? He started in European markets and then he went to US market after he already had some capital, he already has some experience, and he's just looking for a bigger market to be able to scale even harder.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the route we're taking. Waiting for EIN number, should be coming any moment now.
Awesome. So we have a question here from GI Jimmy or Jimmy G. Yeah, GI Trimi. Okay, so how would you suggest building your network? Any tips for that?
Yeah, join communities. Of course, depends on your budget, but you have a lot of free communities, and after that, like almost 90% of at least my high level network, it's from ESS and the Dubai event, of like the really high level guys. I met them all in Dubai at the event. We also went to another event there, met some guys there, and just from the ESS WhatsApp groups and the school communities.
In my perspective, if you're looking for a value-based network, look at it like a marketplace, right? So if you want some value from someone, you have to give someone value.
Right.
And if you're looking for someone who is 10 steps ahead of you, the value you might bring to the table might not be money related. That's why, for example, you will still have Alex, friends who you met in middle school, which maybe doesn't relate to any business aspect, but you're there because they make you feel good or something. I'm not saying that you should work on your humorous skills if you want to get around the table, but work on yourself, and then you will eventually be interesting to other people as well, and be proactive. I think those are like fundamental tips, but practical tips is be proactive, do what you're saying and say what you're doing, and that should get you really far.
For sure, my man. So we have some comments here about like ChatGPT. You guys saw the newest ChatGPT like image? Man, that shit is crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy, but it's like, we're talking about like just having like it's when I'm looking at all of this, it's like it's obviously great for business. Like if you're running a business and let's say some of this like new technology comes in that helps you to like operate your business more efficiently, save costs, save time. Just like, let's say you need like image ads, bum 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 bum. You're just like making lots of those. Even video, like it's good in generating video as well, like pieces of B-roll and stuff like that. We played with it for the last few days, and it's pretty good. And I think it will keep getting better. But then if you're just like reflecting that same part, let's say someone still works at a job and someone is a designer, right? Imagine like someone before was like sitting all day in a Photoshop and making these banners, and now the same banners can be made like in 30 seconds with ChatGPT. Like, so it's like the job security, like, kind of when people thinking about job security, it's not there anymore. It's like many of these jobs, many of these tasks could be and will be replaced by AI. It's just inevitable. And I think learning technology, whether you're in business or not, if you're in business, obviously take advantage so you can scale your business a lot faster, a lot more efficiently. You don't need some massive team. Like At this point, I don't know if you even need a designer. Like, if it can kind of crank you up like these, these banners very fast. Like it builds websites. It, like many of these things. Maybe it's like not 100%. You still need someone to help you, but you can run a lot more efficiency and you can have a lot more output. But learning about technology, learning about AI, I think it should be like on everyone's, like whether you're working 9 to 5 or you're running a business.
Yes, exactly. We're seeing it everywhere. It's going so fast. Literally last week we hired some studio to create some statics for us, which we right now could easily do with the ChatGPT new update. And next to that, we're seeing also all high-level copywriters. They are using AI to write their copy, at least to help write them copy. So everyone is using it, even the people who are like the best of the best at a certain point. Everyone is using AI to help them.
For sure. And yeah, I think the only direction for AI is to keep getting better. Like each one of these like new versions they release is just like beats the previous one, and it's like it just goes to the point where it's tremendously good. So another question here for you guys: did you start with organic or paid ads at the beginning?
Paid ads from
Paid
the
ads
start.
from day one. Facebook specifically, right?
Yeah, only Facebook. We right now have a little Google branded search, but yeah, like 95% of our revenue is coming from Facebook.
Cool. Is there a Snapchat or any other platforms in Netherlands people are using it?
Yeah, there is Snapchat. We still have to look at it. Currently, we're starting on Pinterest for our product. Having some starting up issues with getting our product approved, getting our content approved. They're quite a bit more strict than Meta, so we have to find a way around that, edit our winning ads a little. So currently working on that as well.
I'll introduce you guys to I don't know if I mentioned Snapchat. I think Snapchat is getting better, like in terms of their algorithm advertising platform. I'll introduce you guys. They'll give you like a initial credit, like $5,000-$10,000 to validate it, so you guys can play with it and see if it's a good platform for you to scale on as well.
Interesting. Would be amazing.
You're talking about Gabriel.
Yeah. You guys connected?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Will you start on Snapchat?
Yeah, we have a call next week.
Perfect. Yeah, we just had a conversation yesterday. Yeah, we're also in the process of getting started there. I think 2 years ago their platform was pretty bad, like in terms of like direct response and performance. Now it's gotten like really good. So I would definitely give it a try. And you have nothing to lose, right? Like if they give you the credit. Awesome. So we have another question here from Joshua. Is it really viable to copy your competitor's landing page exactly, or rather just create a landing page that suits your target market?
Yeah, I think you will never have real success if you just copy your competitor straight up. Like I said previously, copy then improve. But what Fabian said was the part I was missing. Of course, we copied their structure, but we did not copy their text. We did not copy their content. So we used their structure. Okay, how did they structure their page, their offer, their ads? Okay, and then we just put it into our own style. I think that's the way to really get success the fastest.
Awesome. And another question: what niche do you guys sell or recommend? What niches?
What niches? So I have two opinions on this, and I don't know exactly yet which I prefer the most. On one side, I'm thinking, do what your affinity tells you to. So basically, say, what do you like? Because you have more energy researching about it. You have more energy to put into it and make something work better. But on the other side, beauty is working extremely well. So so I'm really not that sure about that one yet. I'd say test it if you have the capability to.
It also depends really on your situation. Yeah, we were in beauty and health. I think most of the guys in ESS are running beauty and health. It's like a really great stepping stone. Of course, it's easier to speak when you already when you've made money, you've made some money in the bank. Okay, go do what you like next to it. But yeah, if you like need the first step to really get everything rolling and to really scale and yeah put money in your pockets, then yeah, beauty and health is a great niche.
I think you should focus more on product and product mechanics. What kind of theory is behind the product? Me personally, I really like it when there's a study about the product, right? So you can revert back to it. Actually helps, right? You don't want to be selling shit. So if you can make something work which actually helps people and research behind it, people support it, returning customers, you'll just make life easy for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I like health, beauty, pets, and jewelry. Pets because it's like, let's say, I don't know how about like European markets, but like in US, people spend more on their dogs than they spend on their kids, and it's I think there's more dogs in the United States than there's kids. I don't know, less, at least one of the stats I've seen, and once people, I mean, if yeah, people just spend money on dogs like freely, and then also the jewelry are pretty light products. The problem with jewelry is just the seasonality, most of it. For example, like big holidays like Q4 usually is very, very good for jewelry, and then there's kind of like seasonality declines. It's kind of like it goes throughout the year like that. But you can you can still find some more like evergreen products in jewelry, and they're very light to ship. And if they're very light to ship, it means like, you can ship them even with faster shipping lines and still, have acceptable cost. And someone says dog world. And so it's something that basically house beauty, pets, and jewelry. I have a question here from Henry. I heard that beauty cosmetic niche is quite lucrative. What do you guys think? I think you just answered this one, right?
Yes, it works.
Yeah, I mean, it's about also the offer you're running, how much value it creates to the marketplace. Read Alex Ramos's book about offers.
So we have a question here from Joshua. Has mentorship done it all for you guys? How can you advise one who's skeptical about mentorship with all the information on the internet and the gurus who are only for money?
Well, I don't mean to hurt your feelings, Alex, but I think
tell me how it is.
I strongly think if you know the direction, you can find everything on the internet. If you don't know direction, going for a mentorship will
sure. I agree with that 100%. I think I 100%. And if you don't have money, like if you're like literally like just like you don't have money, like you should be just like looking for stuff on the internet. At the same time, it's like how much time it will take you, right? Like I think time is the biggest variable. Like you can find it, right? But how much time it will take you to find that information, find it from the right sources. At least that's my perspective. What's your guys' perspective on this?
I think your network is also a really, really big part of your success. And you can easily buy your network with like a mentorship/community. Like the example we just had, Fabian already talked to him, but I think it's through ESS. Yeah, that guy can give you 5 to 10K spent on Snapchat. Yeah, then you've already made your money back on the investment on a mentorship/community. And we've had so many instances of just small little things people have told us from communities which have really been game changers.
100%, yeah. I think the information, like right now, we're at the point where when I was starting out, there were not many communities. There was not like a lot of information on the internet. Right now, I think there's too much information on the internet, and the key skill is like to differentiate between like good information and bad information. And also to like, once you start doing something, I think even having like some feedback loops from people that are like, okay, you're doing it, but how do you know if it's good or bad, right? And I think having feedback loops, so it doesn't have to be like, maybe like if you have a friend who can advise you, right? Like maybe someone who's like, you don't have to pay them anything, maybe you've known them for a long time. Not everyone just has those friends. For me personally, I didn't have any friends when I was starting out, and like I didn't know if I was doing something good or bad. And that's like kind of like making those adjustments based on what you're currently doing is, I think, what accelerates your success the most.
Yeah, I agree. I think that what I notice now is also reading some of the comments. Your network is your net worth. You mentioning that there is so much information and bad information. You see, you hear all these different ideas come together from all of the same people, and you really notice if you listen closely, the same ideas being running around, and from these little subtleties, I'd say you can really already know who is having the correct information and who is just here to make money selling a course, for example.
For sure, my man. Awesome. So I think we have, yeah, that's a comment on Shopify partners. I think someone asked about like if you need like a Shopify partner, someone to help you launch like your business or make your business work at the beginning. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, let's say you're starting out and from day one, you start like delegating and hiring someone from day one to run your ads, for instance, or to basically almost like build your business for you.
I think it's a formula for just big problems. Because if you don't know how to run your business yourself, then you then you don't know if anything is wrong. Like it's we're still really lean, Fabian and me in the business. We're doing almost everything ourselves. We have someone helping on the customer service, someone the same guy also doing emails. Yeah, but currently also hiring a new one for customer service and an editor. But it's literally, I think everyone should have that they could fire everyone and still keep the business running, of course, on a lower scale. But if you don't know how to do the things in your business, then you won't get success. You just have to learn everything yourself. Then you also know when things are going wrong and you're seeing room for improvement as well yourself.
I think you can make better and more informed decisions because of that. But at a certain point, I strongly believe that you want to have the leverage of a team.
Of course.
I I really think that because it's a kind of an investor's mindset, right? I just pay a little bit of money to someone and they work for me. There are many people who are very successful with that. I mean, but I think in e-commerce specifically, that's not the way to go.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, like we've hired on in my own journey, like in our business, we've hired at this point, I don't know, probably like 30, 40 different agencies. And even though like we've hired them when we already had some success, all they had to do is just build on it. And most of them suck, unfortunately. And and it's like and with successful business, there is a lot less moving parts than there is with business that just gets off the ground. Because initially you need to find the product market fit, you need to find, all of the initial moving parts. And so if you're trying to outsource that from day one, you're literally expecting those people that you're hiring to figure all of that out for you. And it's not easy. Like it's there's just so many moving parts, and you're expecting someone else to do it for you with a fraction of their time, because usually they have like 5, 10, 20, 30 clients. So you want to do all of that for you in a fraction of the time. People that are not truly like attached to your business in any way, they're just getting paid, for the fee. I don't see that being like a recipe for success at all.
And I also don't understand that because if you were to outsource everything to one agency from the start, what's the incentive for the agency to work together with you? Why not have full ownership of the company if they're doing everything in the end?
Right. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. What's next for you guys? Like, what's your plan? You want to build on this brand, like add more products, or you want to like kind of switch to something else, go to other markets? Like, what's your plan with it?
Yeah, expand, like really, yeah, pushing it to the limits. This brand, pushing out Netherlands even further, pushing out Germany, pushing out the United States, and yeah, and then in the coming time, eventually making an exit.
So you want to build like a sellable business.
Yes, yes.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys have been phenomenal, and it's awesome seeing you guys like execute and build and improve, and joining calls as well. So having an open mind. Looking forward to see you guys. Next stop is what, like 1 million months?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Milestone. Then we'll be here again.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I think will be some new learnings along the way, and appreciate you guys like joining our event. I appreciate you joining me today, and yeah, wish you all the best on your journey. And yeah, I'll see you on our calls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone has any questions, just feel free to reach me anywhere. We talked a little bit about network. Be proactive, right? Reach me on Instagram. Fabian Van Til is my ad.
Fabian, yeah, we'll drop it. We'll drop it in the description here.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. Thank
Alex-
you, Fabian, Daniel. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for setting this all up, setting up ESS, setting up the Dubai event. It's really helped us grow a lot.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, guys. You're awesome, and yeah, looking forward to see your next breakthroughs.
Amazing, man. Thank you so much.
Have a great day, Alex.